Hello and welcome back to Chef Simon Braz. Today I'm going to make you one of my exclusive YouTube only recipes. And this one is going to be a bit of a sweet tooth. So we're going to make a matcha Mille crepe cake. So basically this is layers of pancake with chantilly cream or whipped cream, but flavoured with matcha. So we're bringing in those lovely sort of Japanese flavours. It's a really simple recipe to do, but it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of preparation. But once it's ready, you can eat it straight away. It's beautiful. So, we've got a few ingredients. We've got some milk, sugar, butter, eggs, flour, matcha, corn flour, and a bit more baking powder. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to get the milk on. Okay, we're just going to put this on to warm. And we're going to melt some sugar, and we're going to put some butter in there as well. Okay, so that's basically, I've got 400 mils of whole milk, 3 tablespoons of caster sugar, so we're going to go in there, and 25 grams of butter. That's all going to go in there. In the meantime, while that's coming up warm, we're going to get some 4 medium eggs. Okay, and give them a whisk. And there we are, guys. So now that the butter is melted and the milk's come temperature, the sugar's dissolved, I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm going to gently add a little bit to each time to this milk. Okay, I'm just going to give that a gentle whisk. You don't want to add it all at once, because otherwise you might scramble the eggs. So I'm just going to incorporate that like so. Beautiful. So that mixture we're going to put into a larger bowl now, and then we're going to add our dry ingredients to this. Okay, so our dry ingredients include 130 grams of plain flour, 30 grams of corn flour and 5 grams of baking powder, and 30 grams of matcha powder. Now I'm just using a cooking grade matcha. You can buy lots of different grades, but this one works out really well. And it's not too expensive, because as you get sort of more superior grades of matcha tea, it's more used for sort of ceremonial festivals and things, which will give a lovely flavour, but it's a lot more expensive. So we're going to just gently incorporate that. Now you can use a mixing machine for this, but I feel you can just do it quite effectively with just a hand whisk. Right, next what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this jug. I'm going to use this. Really important that you sift this mixture through. This way is going to help remove any lumps. This is what you don't want, a lumpy batter. And it goes. Now just be careful, don't pour it too fast, because obviously it's a batter. It will stay into the sieve. Mix. Okay, last little bit of the mix. Use my trusty spatula. Now pour it back through it, back into the bowl. You see that'll go through much quicker now because you've removed those lumps. Get the last bit of that out. Lovely. And there we have it, guys. That's the batter made for our pancakes. Now, it's really important now that you leave it to rest, okay? At least up to an hour in the fridge. You can't use it now. Vital step. So, pop this in the fridge. We'll see you come back in an hour. So now that the pancakes are sat for an hour, now it's time to cook. So it should look something like that. So we're going to put the frying pan on, high heat. Okay, I'm going to give this a little mix because obviously it's sat for a while. So you need to just give it a little mix just to incorporate everything. Because obviously flours will sink to the bottom, and then that's ready to go. Now, as you can see, what I've done here, so I've got a piece of greaseproof paper which I've spread out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the pancakes, and then I'm going to transfer them onto here. This will allow them to cool down really quickly. Then, once we've done that, we're going to transport them to a plate with a piece of greaseproof paper, and whip our cream and our sugar to form the filling to the crepe pancake. I'm also using a spray grease. You can use oil if you want, but spray grease gives a nice even distribution. Okay, so while that's heating up, we're going to do our cream. So I've got 300 mils of cream. I'm just going to put it into my machine here. I'm going to put that on. I'm going to get that moving. We want it to about a stiff peak. And as it whips, I'm going to add some sugar. In here I've got about 3 tablespoons of sugar. Just adding a little bit at a time. Make sure you have a spatula to hand, ready to flick. And there we have our cream. Now, I don't want it to be so firm. I just want to keep it nice, so it's got a little bit of peakness, but it falls a little bit. I'm going to put this in the fridge until we need it. Okay. Okay, over to our pancakes. So, pan's nice and hot now. I'm going to add a small amount to the batter. Okay, you want to just stir it slightly. You don't want it too big. See, the batter's still a little bit raw on the top. You get that nice and cooked. You don't want to cook it too much. About a minute to 2 minutes on each side. Just giving it a shake. As soon as it's released, then you know that it's ready to flip. Like that. Beautiful. Okay. Now I think this batter has got a little bit thick while it's sat, so I'm going to put just a teeny bit of milk in there, just so it loosens up a little bit more. I'll pop that on there. Number one. So obviously the idea, you want a thinner batter mix, so it nice and evenly coats. So there we are, it's a little bit better now. Okay, so we're going to keep doing our next ones. Now I don't put any more oil, you shouldn't need to. As soon as you put it on, you should be able to mix it. That's much better now. Slightly thinner. And then we're just going to repeat this process until all the pancakes are done. It should make you about 12 to 13 pancakes. So we're on to the next part of our pancake process. So, just going to make a bit of space here. Okay, our plate, our pancakes. We're going to need the cream. Going to need a palette knife. And you might find that because it's sat in the fridge for a bit, the cream might have just softened a little bit, so you might need to give it a whisk and just give it another light whipping. Lovely. So now we're basically going to put a bit of cream on here. Being sure not to go right to the edge, you want to leave a little bit of space. Like so. And repeat each layer. So now we move on to our last pancake. This is the biggest one I made at the end. Okay, I'll scoop out the rest of this cream. Pop that on top there, nice and evenly. If you wanted to use a piping bag, you can. If you want to do little decorations on the top, you can. It's open to your interpretation. Now the last thing to do, just going to pop a little bit of cling film on this. I'm going to pop it in the fridge, and it needs to be set there for about 3 hours. This is just to allow it nice to firm to gently rest. That's just what you want. And then when it's done, we'll take it out and top it. So it's now been about 3 hours. It's time to take the Matcha Crepe Mille Feuille out of the fridge. Just going to add the last part. What I'm going to do, take this off my plate. And here I've got my matcha, same matcha I used for when I actually made the pancake itself. I'm going to open this. Use a fine sieve. Put that in there. I'm going to dust it quite heavily all over. Nice and evenly coated, a little bit more there. And then grab a plate. There we have it, guys. One matcha crepe milk cake. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining in with this video. I really appreciate it. This has been really good fun to do, to be able to bring something a little bit out of my comfort zone, because I'm not a pastry chef by nature, but I do like to practice every now and again. And I think this gives a real lovely flavours with the matcha, and it's very light as well. So please go check it out. I'll include the recipe in the description below. If you like it, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and look forward to new videos from me, Chef Simon Braz. Thank you very much. Goodbye.